Opening humanitarian access to southern Kordofan is complicated by the continuing rebellion there. Fighters in the Nuba Mountains were not eligible to secede along with South Sudan last July, so Sudanese rebel leader Abdelaziz al-Hilu says they're still battling the Sudanese Armed Forces, or SAF.
We have a just cause, they are fighting, but SAF troops are fighting for money. They are defending, you see, a defunct regime, a failed regime, a fundamentalist regime. So even they lost, you see, this motive and incentive to fight.
Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir says South Sudan is helping the rebels, and he'll not sit by while the new government in Juba threatens Sudanese security.
If they want to change the regime in Khartoum, we will work to change the regime in Juba. If they want to support rebels, we will support rebels there.
South Sudanese President Salva Kiir says Khartoum is already backing militia raids into the south. The Arab League is joining the United Nations and African Union in trying to convince Khartoum to allow international aid agencies into southern Kordofan and Blue Nile. U.S. officials say that could help ease the conflict there. Princeton Lyman is the U.S. Special Envoy to Sudan and South Sudan.
It is contributing to the border insecurity because it spills over, and it's also creating a humanitarian crisis.
John Bradshaw is executive director of the U.S.-based Enough Project to End Genocide.
The humanitarian crisis is unfolding right now, and that's something that can be addressed in the short term. But until that there is a larger political resolution of that conflict, it also impedes the resolution of the conflict between Sudan and South Sudan.
Both sides are part of the problem, says Princeton Lyman.
We need to have both governments realize that this is a self-defeating proposition. Each one does it, the other one does it, and both of them suffer.
Bradshaw says mediators must convince hardliners in South Sudan that border security can be achieved without the use of force.
There is such a dynamic within Juba to believe that without asserting themselves militarily, they are not going to get the international community to really help them in coming together with the North to resolve a lot of the issues about the border and oil and citizenship.
Aid agencies say humanitarian conditions in South Sudan and across the border in southern Kordofan and Blue Nile are made worse by rising food and fuel prices because of the conflict. They say it will soon be even harder to deliver relief supplies as seasonal rains wash out many roads. Scott Stearns, VOA News, the State Department.